coffee? Take it out.
I think she forgot.
She just touched it. It's getting cold.
Where's the coffee? They have to brew more.
Maybe that's ours. Thank you very much.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. 2 coffees.
2 coffees off to Devil's Bridge. Steven can figure out how to. Hey guys, and welcome back to Buggin' Out. I wanted to share this trip that my husband and I took for my birthday back in February of 2022, and unfortunately we were not able to take Buggin' Out with us, so we rented a Jeep when we were in Sedona. And the very first day we thought we'd get up early, grab some coffee, head out to the parking lot and trailhead for Devil's Bridge, and drive the Jeep out a couple miles on a 4-wheel drive road. But unfortunately, this Jeep we rented was not lifted and we could not get to the trailhead. So by the time we got back to the parking lot, there was nowhere to park and people were lined up for half a mile or more down the highway. So we had to change our plans. We decided to stop for breakfast and more coffee and regroup. There are so many hiking trails in Sedona, it's really hard to pick one or a few to do. So we basically closed our eyes, pointed to one on the map, and headed out to Fay Canyon. So this was a pretty simple hike. It was a gorgeous trail through the canyon, and when you got to the end, you just had a quick scramble up this rock and you were rewarded with a gorgeous view. One thing you might see that's very common for us is to have coffee with us on trail. We always try to find a spot to sit and enjoy our coffee, and this was the perfect spot for this. How's your coffee, honey?
Good. It's my 3rd cup today now.
But this is the best spot we've had coffee in today. I really could have sat up here all day, and Steven kind of had to convince me to leave, but we had another part of the trail we wanted to do, and that was Fay Arch. It's a little side trail on your way back to Trailhead, and it is definitely some rock scrambling as well, but it is really worth the views once you get up to the arch. How was that climb?
Not bad.
My hand is shaking a little bit. After our morning of unplanned adventures, we headed back into town to find a lunch spot, and really all we wanted was a view, and this place nailed it. The view looked like a painting. I couldn't believe it was real the whole time we were sitting there. It was just really, really enjoyable. Everybody that has been to Sedona kept telling us that we needed to go visit the Chapel of the Holy Cross, and we got there right at sunset. It was actually closing down, so we didn't get to hang out for very long, but it was a really beautiful place. It's worth a stop. We took it easy that evening and grabbed some wood-fired pizza from Pizza Lisa. It was so good. And then we headed out to Page Springs Winery to finish up our night. We wanted to get back to our room early so we could head to Devil's Bridge early the next morning. What time is it?
6:30.
What are we doing?
We're going to hike Devil's Bridge.
It's dark. Yes, much better today. Although there are only like 4 parking spots left. It's crazy. People get here really early. Yep. All right. So since we had trouble the morning before getting a parking spot for Devil's Bridge, we headed out there super early before the sun was even up to start our trek to the Devil's Bridge trailhead. The first couple miles of this hike is mostly a dirt and rock road, which you are supposed to be able to travel on with a 4-wheel drive vehicle, but like I said, the Jeep we had rented was not lifted, and we really struggled getting up some of these rocks. So today we decided we just walk the couple extra miles to the actual Devil's Bridge trailhead. So, you know, I think we're waiting. Oh no, yeah, this is where we gave up. This was brutal up here. Just looks like it would be okay, but it really wasn't. Just a lot of big ass rocks. And people drag, I think, a lot. But the view is pretty.
Well, here's my view again. Day 2 of hiking. I could stare at her butt all day again. Say hi, Kira.
Hi. You, not my butt.
Best view I need.
So after walking the Jeep trail, we finally made it to the actual Devil's Bridge trailhead. And we were not the only ones that walked that portion of this hike. We saw a couple of four-wheel drive vehicles, but not many. The majority of people were walking it. And we were excited to see what was ahead of us. That's my phone from yesterday. And that is where we're going. Oh my gosh. It is straight uphill. So this portion of the trail headed up to Devil's Bridge was a hike. There was a lot of rock scrambling, like hands and knees on rocks, climbing. It was steep and it was tough, but once you got up to this portion of the trail, it was so beautiful. And there is the reward for your hike. You can actually walk out on it, and Steven is not a big fan of heights, so he told me to just go ahead and go out there, and he would get the pictures. And this is one of my all-time favorite pictures from any hikes that I've ever done. I, of course, had coffee with me on trail and thought that this was just the perfect spot to sit and enjoy the views, drink some coffee. We had some breakfast with us as well, and we just really sat and took it all in before we headed back down the trail. That was a heck of a climb. Right?
Right.
Now our 2-mile trek back.
Well, here's Kira's butt again. It's a little dirtier than it was 2 hours ago. Yeah, it's very dirty. She did it. She saw Devil's Den. Devil's Bridge. Scared the crap out of Steven.
Since we started that hike so early, we were finished before lunchtime. So we decided we'd make a trip up to the Grand Canyon. Neither one of us had ever been up there before, and we thought maybe we could get in a couple more hikes while we were there. If you've never made it to the Grand Canyon, I highly recommend you make time for it. It's absolutely breathtaking. It actually kind of got me a little choked up. I mean, it is that stunning. I think the only other thing that stopped me in my tracks like that was when we went to see the Taj Mahal, but this was just so beautiful. As you can hear in those videos, it was extremely windy when we got there, and the temperature was rapidly dropping, so we decided not to hike, and on our way out of the park, we actually ran into some snow, so we were glad we didn't hike. But it is now on our list of hikes that we would like to do someday. I don't know to what extent we would do it, but we would love to walk some trails in the Grand Canyon. We hope you enjoyed this video with Buggin' Out Adventures. Please like and subscribe to see what's coming up next.